Blessings, y'all. First, I just want to acknowledge the Creator, the Source, the Most High, allowing the Most High to flow through me as it's flowing through all of you right now. Acknowledging our ancestors, the people who have given us the opportunity to experience this life through their unionship, through their love, through the multiple people, the parents who had grandparents and parents and grandparents and etc., etc. I got a lot I want to say based off of the Sankofa reflection of today, and also based off of certain things that have been coming to me through these, beautiful conversations, and also about to, commence. This is day one of my 30-day fast for Just Choose July, and I'm very excited about that, and I want to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But if we could all just check in with our posture real quick. If we can check in with our spine, I just want to make sure that, as I'm giving this information, that it's being received with the most illustrious type of concentration. So even for me, just want to make sure that our root chakra is rooted and our crown is really being illuminated by the Most High. And with that, take the biggest breath you've taken in all day and release. Taking a bigger breath. Expand in those lungs, expand in that diaphragm, and slowly exhale like you're blowing bubbles in the park. And one more, expand, inhale, and release. Yeah, just stretch out real quick. Man, what a day, what a day, what a day. It is July 1st. And, these are markers, these are indicators, these are measurements of time, even though we are living in a dimension where things are always in sync. Your past is your future in many different ways. And we acknowledge the things that have happened and the things that are going to happen, because the things that have happened really set us up for what is. So as I think about this reflection, as I think about, my impact and my mission really is to inspire those to be more healthy, more conscious, and conscious in all ways, holistically, right? I think that sometimes, even within our community, we can have a sense of consciousness in one regard, but then disregard another. And I think that it has to be a holistic thing in order for us to not only thrive, but for our future generations to thrive, and for our family to thrive. So, I just want to start by saying, when it comes down to our health, when it comes down to even what my brother was speaking about in terms of plant medicine, I want us to acknowledge the plants that are the essential medicine that we should be having daily. The fruits, and in the Bible it speaks about multiple times. I believe in Genesis twice and in Revelation once, at least. And then it also talks about the fruit of the Spirit throughout. But it talks about how the Most High has provided all of this fruit for us to not only nourish ourselves, but to heal. And there's sometimes such a hyper focus on the plant medicines and not the plant medicines that we really should be focusing on. And that is not to take away the power and the significance of what the plant medicines can offer and provide, especially from a psychotherapeutic lens. I think that they're very powerful. And then they're so powerful to the point that I believe so many people have become dependent on it, whether we talk about, at the base level, or whether we talk about marijuana. Some people feel like they can't function unless they smoke. And I've witnessed people in my life doing mushrooms and it just shifting their whole vibration in a way that did not allow them to function optimally in this society. So my thing is, as we explore, we have to remember that any medicine that we continuously abuse and misuse, it then becomes a drug. So my thing is like being very practical about all of these things and saying, how can we best utilize these medicines that the Mother Earth, that the Most High has provided, so that we can actually thrive. And it comes back to my mission this month, which is really promoting fasting. This country has a reputation for overconsumption. We have an addiction to overindulgence, and that could be in anything, in food, in TV or porn, in drinking, and even in these plant medicines in the spiritual community. And what I want to really be an advocate of is fasting and moderation in all of these things, because when you start to really develop these cycles and these habits, it stops you from growing because you're not experiencing new things. You're stuck in this habit, and even good habits can be detrimental at times. When you get up in the rising and it's like, let's say I do the same movement over and over and over again, like if I'm doing push-ups. Well, I may be working one part of my body and not the other, and that is stopping growth in other areas that I can really focus on to have a full growth inside of me. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that in even leaving a legacy, that was something big that my father was about. And I just want these words to be something that is really the highlight of who Roots God Fender was and is and always will be. And it's really something that I think we don't have too many options at this point. In this age of enlightenment, we have to practice being enlightened. But that's also practicing that enlightenment on every area. It's not just about the fact that we feel like we are spiritual beings. It's also being able to build practical abundance. And when I look around this community at times, specifically the spiritual or the melanated community, we're not truly about building abundance. We talk about it, but then I look around and there's not a lot. And we have to be so much more aligned with this mission, that we're able to use the matrix against it, that we're able to shift the paradigm by working internally, which we are. We live, most of us that are watching this live in America. And unless you fly to another country where, doing things like giving your children plant medicine daily, or just pretty much picking your fruit or your vegetables out of the woods all day is common, then it's really about being practical. We can totally build our own societies and things like that. And then I question, if you got family and if you got friends who don't want to go this route, and you claim to be a helper, a messenger for everybody, then or a healer, then how are you truly healing? So this is probably going to raise a few eyebrows, but this is just the channeling that I'm receiving right now. I think that my overall purpose is to make sure that I work as high up as possible, so that I can set the example and say, hey y'all, we can climb these mountains, we can ascend, we can have financial abundance, we can take over the government, we can grow our own food. We can make sure that we are being practical about the medications we're putting in our body, whether it be from the shamans or whether it be from Big Pharma. If we even do utilize Big Pharma. You feel me? We transform Big Pharma. We transform the way that the society does things. We transform government. We transform schools. And in that, I think that we have to look at all of this, and I look at all of this for myself, and I say it starts within. So I go back to my fasting. Every time that I've done a fast, I've had such transformational experiences because I see that my body is eliminating to the point that even after the first few days, it's like, oh, I could see my abs again. You feel me? And it's a beautiful thing. You know, when toxins are just being released, not only through the bowels, but through the skin. Like, I make sure I work out and I sweat because there's toxins on the dermis, on the epidermis, on the skin, inside of the skin that needs to be released. And when we're fasting, it's also something that hones us into self to the point where we realize when certain things are becoming a distraction, whether it's people and their conversations, whether it's environment, whether it's even something like technology. So I just want to encourage and inspire everybody to really practice health, to really practice wellness. And one of the best medicines that almost every culture has talked about, that almost every religion has talked about, is fasting. And if you can do that work within, then you can do that work without. You feel me? I want to go back to financial health as well. Because your bank account is a reflection of you. It's a reflection of the work you do or the energy that you put out into the world and how you value yourself. Because you may be doing a lot of different things for free, you know, and I always go back to what my brother said, work for free is slavery. And so we have to realize, okay, well, what are we enslaving ourselves to? Are we enslaving ourselves to things that we love? Are we enslaving ourselves to community? Are we willing to sacrifice all of our financial health or financial abundance in order to help someone? And are we really helping someone if we're not able to incentivize them to empower themselves to the point where they can build themselves financially? And so there's so many things when it comes to health and wellness that I think that, you know, people overlook. And I don't consider myself a healer of healers. I just consider myself, as Dr. Sebi said, I consider myself a messenger. You know, the planet heals us naturally. Our own bodies heal us naturally. We just have to get out of the way. We just have to not be, in a sense, antagonists to ourselves, to our bodies, to our souls, to our minds. So I think about different food in different ways, not just how we consume, but I think about food for thought. I think about the fruit of the spirit. I think about how we're nourishing our bodies through conversation, through environment, through working out, through taking in positive media. Because I remember my brother Jalil said one time, you know, he said something about when he freestyles, and sometimes, you know, it's like we revert back to old ways of talking about certain things. And I related to that so hard because I do too. And then I'm like, wow, okay, there's more work to be done. Because when I channel, when I get into my flows, I want to channel nothing but love, positivity, abundance, and higher vibration. I want to channel nothing but health and wellness, and making sure that the things that I'm doing are actually words that are going to rock your spirit in a positive way, that are going to charge your cells and allow you to move on with your day and feel empowered. So I just really send so much love to everyone, and I thank y'all for, you know, all of the things that you bring to this world, because you are special. You are an essence of the Creator, and you are a creator. So we have to think about how we're creating our reality every day. And in order to really hone in on that, we have to think about the reality we're creating for ourselves, the environment we're creating for ourselves, internally and externally. And, you know, really that's to say, as within, so without. You look within your bank account, and then you look outside of it at the actions that you may be doing, and it's a reflection. And this money really is energy that you can also transfer to other things, such as assets, such as things if you want to buy your mama a gift for her birthday, if you are putting money into land that we can then say, wow, now we have our own community, we can have our own mayors, we can buy our own heirloom seeds and grow these things. So I'm really encouraged on this fast, this being day one. I'm gonna be doing some energetic channeling every day, and just allow myself to flow, just allow myself to be. And once again, this is something that I've done before. This is the 6th time that I'm doing at least 30 days. And I just encourage y'all. I encourage y'all on that. The body and the mind are more powerful than we think. I always say we are God's greatest inventions. We are God's greatest inventions. We are God's greatest inventions. And when we're able to really engineer and rewire our own lives, as opposed to allowing society or the government or, any outside entity to do that for us, when we doctor ourselves, when we become our best lawyer, our best researcher, we start to empower ourselves on a deeper level. And I want to really empower not only the youth, but the elders as well. And I'm glad to say that I'm aligned with my mission. The things that make me money are the things that I'm aligned with. Promoting health and wellness, education, performing, producing events. And I wouldn't have it any other way except to continue to move higher and more elevated in my thinking, more awareness, even certain things that I may not know. So I just implore everybody to really invest in the medicine within, and really look at the fruits and the vegetables as the plant medicine as well, because that is going to change the way we behave with each other. It's going to change the way we think. It's going to change the way we sleep. It's going to change the way that we relate to one another and community. And it will change all of these aspects for the better. My name is Ruth Scott Fender. Happy July 1st, 2023. I am so in love with y'all. And I am honored to make love to you now. A lot of us, even with sexuality, we've been polluted by this society and not realizing that this is love. This is an act of love, expression, our spirits dancing through sound. In the beginning was the word, right? Through the word you need sound, you need vibration. So I'm glad to share vibration with y'all. Enough love, abundance, y'all. Stay rooted.